her hypnotic dance. She holds me here with only a glance. She's over me. She's over me. The claws in my heart, I can't let go, I'm breaking apart, controlling me, controlling me.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live here on the Night Terrors, Paranormal Portal Night Terrors. I hope you're hearing me. I got some little sound tweaks going on. That's why the extended intro was happening. I've got to take care of something after the show. I just found out what's causing all that echo during the music. So basically what happened was my computer got updated and it screwed up everything in typical Microsoft fashion. So thank you, Bill. Anyway, but these are the Night Terrors. I'm your host, Brent Thomas, and hope you're all having a great night. Thank you so much for being here with me. We have roughly an hour to go here of ghostly encounters, so I hope you're all set because I thoroughly intend to entertain the hell out of you. At least that's my goal. If you want to call in and be a part of tonight's show, you sure can. If you have a paranormal experience of your own that you'd like to share, I'd love to hear from you. And you can call me by dialing 720-923-0500. And again, 720-923-0500. And the number's right up here. In case you forget, it's that little dinky. There it is. It's really small. It's really small. But what do you do? That's the number for fun right here on the portal. If you want to call in and be a part of it, I'd love to hear from you. Been really busy, really busy. The last couple of days have just been a freaking whirlwind of activity here on the portal, but had a great show last night. And thank you to all of the people who joined us. Thank you to those of you who are able to get in and participate for the giveaways. We will be doing more of that. Again, the operating budget of the Paranormal Portal is very small, but I thoroughly enjoy doing that. I enjoy bringing you guys into the experience even more. And I enjoy giving you stuff to let you know how much we love you guys. So we'll do it as much as we can get away with. But it's just a lot of fun. I had some great laughs and great time with all the callers. And thank you to everybody who tried to call in. Unfortunately, I can't give everybody a shirt. Again, we get back to that whole budget thing. But if you keep trying, the whole objective is that eventually, hopefully, all of our regulars will win. And our visitors as well. I love the fact that so many people pitched in and participated. And I met some new people, which is fun. So anyway, that's all I got on the front end here, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're ready because it's time for bed. All right, that's official, ladies and gentlemen. We are now thoroughly underway here on the Paranormal Portal, and that means I got work to do, so I hope you're all set. New addition to the studio. I didn't show you guys this yet. I'm going to pull him out, but I'm going to have to... I think I'm going to pull him out. Oh, Jesus. Oh, I'm not pulling him out. Why is he not coming off? There he is. New addition, ladies and gentlemen. My little shrunken head. This is a coconut that was carved in Polynesia somewhere. And I don't know if you guys recognize this kind of craftsmanship and can tell me where it came from, but I found it at a yard sale. So I was like, ooh, that's creepy. That's pretty cool. So right now he's sitting behind me, staring into my back, which is a little creepy all by itself, but he's a looker. How you doing? Welcome to the show. So a little coconut head has joined us here in the Paranormal Portal studio. It looks really like some kind of bad luck tiki or something, but I'm hoping he's good luck. I hope he brings good luck and stuff. So that's the new addition to the portal decorations here. I'm going to put him next to me here because it's not easy to hang him up, but thought I'd share that with you since he's not able to be seen back there currently, but I haven't figured out where the hell he's going yet either. But anyway, got some stories lined up for you guys tonight. I'm going to start reading you some ghostly encounters. Hopefully you guys enjoy these. Did you hear how quick that was? Hopefully you guys enjoy these and have a good time with them. The first story tonight comes from Missouri, and it has to do with miscellaneous category, but you know what? No. I almost did it. I almost read one that I already read. I don't know what the hell's wrong with me. I can't remember to close these things when I'm done with them. But you have to understand, if you could see my desktop, you would see there are like 30 tabs open on different browser windows in different monitors around me because I'm always doing research, and I was looking into the new call board idea today, trying to research that. I was doing the narration for the documentary that I'm working on that I've been asked to narrate, which is really cool, for the Irish Bigfoot Research Organization, and I've been just trying to keep up. But anyway, I guess that's how it happens. But it's all just excuses, really. So the first one I'm going to read you tonight comes from Florida, and it has to do with apparitions, voices, and touches. And those usually mean somebody's experienced some kind of physical contact or experiences. So it says, I stumbled onto this site, and I've read a bunch of stories, and I specifically relate to my personal experiences. Sorry. I couldn't believe it. For so many years, I hated sharing my experience because so many people just didn't believe in ghosts. My own parents refused to believe me. My friends have always came up with an excuse as to what I saw. After reading some of the other stories people have shared, I'm ready to share what happened to me and hope others truthfully had similar experiences. I am currently 23 years of age and first saw what I presume to be a ghost was when I was in the 3rd grade. I don't remember how old I was then, but child or not, I know what I saw. And I was not seeing things because I was young. So before anyone quickly judges what I say, understand I saw what I saw, like you see in daylight every day. I was not dreaming, nor was I in any sleep paralysis. No way, shape, or form. It was as clear to me as the day of when it happened. I remember watching Are You Afraid of the Dark on Nickelodeon the night when I saw the figure. I mention this because I always used to blame that show that night for seeing what I did. But you will understand in a moment why that just isn't the case. I remember watching that show with my brother and sister, and we all fell asleep in the same bed, with my brother to my right and my sister sleeping at the end of the bed, at the end of my feet. I remember vividly waking up, as I do to this day, in the middle of the night and seeing a clear dark figure that closely resembled a small boy on the side of my bed closest to my brother. I couldn't see any facial features or make out a face of any kind. It was like a shadow, but not really, but like if you painted yourself in completely dark paint and stood in the dark. I tried so hard to see who it was or what it was, but I couldn't make out any facial features, period. Unsure and scared what to make of it, I quickly closed my eyes, and I remember telling myself, this just can't be. Excuse me. You're seeing things. It's not real. Well, I slowly would open my eyes again to reassure myself I was just seeing things, but sure enough, the figure was still there and it didn't move. I became scared like I have never been scared in my entire life. I wanted to scream, but I couldn't. It's like the figure was controlling my vocals and would not allow me to scream. I tried to move, and I kid you not, my body was completely paralyzed. The combination of these events only frightened me even more. Remember, I was a third grader and was experiencing something I could not explain. I kept opening and closing my eyes only to realize that the dark figure was that of a boy, and I knew this because the figure wasn't tall. It was probably the same height as me at the time. I swear to you, I knew the ghost knew I was looking at him. It was like he wanted me to acknowledge his presence because I'll never forget what happened next. After a couple of minutes being fixed to this figure, I remember specifically watching the figure move. Well, this sent a shockwave down my entire body. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. The figure moved from the side of the bed slowly to the end of the room where my door was. And I lay frozen in shock as I watched the figure. I watched the figure move his arm and grab the door handle. I could hear the door handle squeak as he turned it. I just see gasp and no. Okay. I was dying at this point in total absolute fear as he turned the knob, and then he stopped and looked at me, almost realizing that I was still looking at him. Then he saw that I was still looking at him, so the figure decided to let go of the door handle, the noise of which I can still hear in my head to this day, and then turn and slowly walk to his original position at the side of the bed and just stood there gazing at me, almost like I'm not leaving yet. I know you see me. I still can remember his footsteps on the carpet as he slid his feet across the space from my door to the spot I originally saw him. And that was officially the longest night I have ever slept through. I remember waking up and telling my brother and sister and parents, only to hear them telling me, Chris, the house is built from scratch. There is no way it's haunted. You're seeing things. I wish that was the case, as I saw the figure multiple times after that, only reassuring me that ghosts do exist, or at least dark figures. Before anyone blames this on me being a child or that I was experiencing sleep paralysis, etc., save it. I know what I saw. I didn't want to see what I saw, believe me. I wish it never happened. For 2 years, I slept with my brother in his bed in fear because of the nights I would witness this dark figure move across the room and stare at me. I can't explain why it chose to reveal himself to me and only me. My brother used to tell me he would stay up at night hoping to see it because of how scared I was for as long as I was. Why did it choose me? If it was a good spirit, why did it choose to inflict horrible fear on me for so long? Scare me for so long? Make me scream for my parents for so long? I used to always think ghosts are bright white lights that float across the room, but that's completely BS to me. What I saw was a dark figure, the shape of a small boy, but you could not see any facial features, period. If you're dead, how can you grab a door handle? Walk like a live human by making footprints in the carpet, which I saw the next morning, and touch other people. He grabbed my foot in another incident. For 2 years, I slept in utter fear because I knew any night I might see it or it might touch me. I can never explain it, nor will I ever know why it chose me to show itself to. If anyone has any input or similar experiences, I would love to hear them. After further research, my mother revealed to me that the house was built partially on Indian burial grounds. A reason for this experience or not, it gave me an idea of why this being was at the house back then. My cousin from England at 16 years of age revealed to my mom 2 years ago while I was in England. I am hearing something coming through my earphones. It sounds like a part of a voice. I don't know if you guys are hearing those little blurps, but it might be something with Skype. I don't know. My cousin from England at 16 years of age revealed to my mother 2 years ago while I was in England that he too saw the figure of a boy while he slept in my house in my bed, while he visited us in Florida. Him telling me this, even at 21 years old, scared the life out of me. Finally, someone other than I witnessed what I witnessed. He described it to the T, to my mom, and then finally my mom accepted what I saw as real. She finally believed me, and yet doesn't understand, there it was again, why nobody else saw it but me and my older cousin. That's strange. That is weird. So here's the thing with houses again. They don't need to be old houses to have a haunting. That's just not true. That's not true. Any number of reasons can introduce a haunting to a space. Could be an item with an attachment. Could be built on some land that's questionable, as was brought up in this story. Could be a person has an attachment. Could be that there's just a vagrant spirit happen through. There's no one way that this stuff happens, and oftentimes people equate hauntings with old houses, but it's not necessary. Any house can be haunted. Any house, or can have a presence, I should say. The term haunted is usually kind of a negative term. It means that there's something there terrifying people. And in many cases, that's true, because most people, of course, are terrified seeing things that aren't supposed to be there. But, I think that in many cases, these spirits are just around. They're just a part of our world. And sometimes we become aware of them for whatever reason that is. And that doesn't mean that they don't belong. I mean, some people have this idea, well, this is our realm and that's their realm. Well, who the hell decided that? Are you sure about that? Because I'm not. I mean, maybe they belong here just as much as we do, and perhaps there's something else. Maybe they weren't spirits of people. I think that mostly people get that idea, like, when we die, we're supposed to go somewhere else. Okay, so maybe we are, but what about other things that were never us, that may resemble us? They might belong here. This might be just where they belong. And there's that to consider as well. I think we have an idea that a ghost is just, the things we perceived as ghosts are only what used to be human. But quite honestly, they could have been any number of other things, other kind of beings that maybe resemble us or maybe choose to resemble us, but could be something else entirely. There's elementals. There's other kinds of spiritual beings that were never human. Or at least we, again, perceive them as spirits. But my point is that sometimes things are just here. But I don't know if you guys were hearing that, but there was like these, it was almost like somebody was kind of breaking through, just like, as I was reading that. I would hear it in my earphones. I don't know if you guys heard it at all, but I'm asking you in the chat room, those of you in there, in case you're paying attention at all. Did you guys hear anything? Just some weird artifact sounds. It's very strange. Nope. Not having any of those blips. You are Brett. Oh, I don't know who he's talking to. Brent. Okay, so other people are not hearing this. Okay. We're listening. Just chat, silly. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just hearing this weird sound every once in a while. It was only during the reading of that story, but it's just one I'm not familiar with. But again, new sound card updates, problems, and a lot of need for solutions. So there's a lot going on here, and I'm not suggesting it's paranormal, but it's just an odd. It sounds almost like a voice. It's very strange, like a partial piece of a word, or like somebody starting to say, and then it stops. That's what I'm hearing. But it's very, it hasn't happened now since I've been asking. So anyway, let's go to the next story. And this one is coming from New York, ladies and gentlemen. It has to do with haunted places. Another pretty long one. This one, I guess, is medium. It's not, the last one was quite long, but it was very well written. And I believe that person, again, get into the idea of kids talking to their family about these experiences and basically being, turned away like, no, it's nothing. There's nothing in your closet. There's nothing under your bed. You did not see a little child spirit standing next to your bed. It's your imagination. Did you hear that one? Right after I finished that. It was like a part of a word. I don't know. I guess it's just me. Maybe it's only in my headphones. Maybe it's not broadcasting out. But very strange. I think the parents should acknowledge that at least. Again, I've covered that dozens and dozens of times. I don't mean to beat a dead horse, but I think it's important to listen to the kids. Justin heard it. Did you hear that, Justin? Okay. Yes, I hear yes from Justin, or yes. Okay. I don't know if he's talking to me or not, but anyway, let's continue on. If you turn the sound up with the headphones on, yes, I can hear breakthrough sounds. Okay. Thank you, Cashew. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's just weird. They're just coming through in little pieces. Cha-cha. You always got voices in your head. Well, that's comforting. Okay, thank you, Justin. I appreciate it. It's just nice to know whether it's just on my end or if you guys are hearing it too, because if there is some sound issue, that also helps me look into what it could be. Again, not claiming it's paranormal, but I'm claiming that I'm hearing some weird sounds coming in. And I don't know. I'm kind of tentative because I got this new sound card. And I have had problems due to the updates, so if there's more going on, I need to know. But, yeah, keep me posted if you hear them again. I'm just kind of curious what you guys are hearing. Okay, so, yeah, this one's from New York. Haunted places, New York. Let me get past the fluffy stuff here. I'm still seeing a black shadow. This person obviously said more before this, but I just want to get past the fluffy stuff. But frankly, this just has me stumped. Well, here I go. The other day I was in my basement watching Unsolved Mysteries, and a commercial came on. I looked up at the TV for a brief second, and I thought I saw someone peeking at me from the next room. I was so spooked that I turned everything off, and I went upstairs. I don't blame you. That was just creepy. I keep thinking of that TikTok video of that woman in her house with her dogs. And that one dog is looking towards the hallway, and she kind of pans over with her phone as she's talking about all her dogs being ready for bed. And she stops at that one point and she's talking to that dog. And then that shadow is in the doorway, like she sees it, like, what the hell is that? And then it moves. She's like, ah! I gotta tell you, that would be a scraper right there. That'd be an underwear moment right there. As Don said, it's code brown. But yeah, I don't know if you can ever prepare for that kind of thing, Even as jaded as some of us are, I think when you see something like that, it's like, yeah. It just breaks through your reality filter that kind of helps you deal with life. But what an incredible experience that would be. So I don't blame this person for leaving the room if they saw someone looking at them from a doorway or something. That's horrible. The second incident happened about 2 days ago when I was doing the laundry. I put my second load in the machine, and I was about to turn around and put the soap back, when out of the corner of my eye, I could have sworn I saw someone's leg behind me. And then I thought I heard someone run up the stairs, and I heard the bathroom door slam. So I ran upstairs and started banging on the door, and it was my little sister in there. And I asked her why she ran up the stairs so fast, and she said that she was coming from her room and she just got into the bathroom. Her room is located in the attic. So I told her what just happened, and of course she didn't believe me. But anyways, I left my laundry in that machine until the next morning. The day after that, I went downstairs to the basement to warm up my son's bottle in the microwave. It finished its cycle and buzzed, so I took the bottle out, and closed the door. As soon as I closed the door, the microwave turned back on. It had like 40 something minutes on the timer, and I was standing there pushing clear, and it just wouldn't stop. But then it just turned off as if someone just suddenly pulled the plug. There was no lights, no time was being displayed or anything. And all of a sudden the microwave turned back on and it was flashing 0000. And then it displayed the regular time. Honestly, this thing that's in the basement, I think it spends its time in the boiler room, which is located right next to the kitchen. And I'm saying this because whenever I'm in the kitchen and the door to the boiler room is open, I get this really weird feeling like I'm being watched. And it bothers me so much that many times I get up and I just close the door. Many times I've been getting ready to go upstairs late at night. I'll switch off all the lights, and as I'm walking up the stairs, I'll get the feeling that someone's going to grab me at any moment. I discussed this with my younger brother, who comes from Florida to stay with us sometimes, and he said he experienced the same thing. But he never said anything because he thought that nobody would believe him. Honestly, you guys have no idea what it feels like to be walking up those stairs and feeling like you have a bowl made of steel sitting in your stomach. Meanwhile, the hair on the back of your neck is standing up so straight, it hurts. I mean, you'll feel these goosebumps and everything. I don't know how to explain it any further. You just get a bad feeling on those stairs. On the brighter side, my son's behavior has improved. There was one of those sounds again. The son's behavior has improved. He's gone from standing on top of the stairs and crying to coming downstairs and playing for a while. From time to time, he still gets nervous about coming out of the hallway. He'll just get this sad look on his face and close the bedroom door in my face. Or he'll run out screaming, grab my hand and drag me into the room. But overall, he runs out and yells, runs and jumps all over the place. And I'd say that's the silver lining to this story. Yeah, it's tough because sometimes those little kids can be a target, and that's horrible, horrible, horrible. I don't know. And the feeling of being watched, I think that is just fascinating. I think that's the one bit of ESP that all of us have. Well, nearly all of us. I don't know. I've never talked to, I don't think I've ever heard anyone say I've never felt like I've been watched. I think everybody has experienced that feeling of just the weight or the awkwardness of feeling like someone is standing somewhere just gazing at you. And again, it could be some genetic throwback to when we were scraping a life out of the wilds and we were on the menu. I don't know. Like we just learned to avoid predators by almost ESP. I don't know. But it is incredible to me that even in the modern era where we're so full of distractions and our senses are just numbed to the point of oblivion, we still get that feeling that something is watching. And I think that you got to pay attention to that. I really do. I think that did you hear that one? That one was different. It was like, I don't know. I'm not claiming these are EVPs, ladies and gentlemen. These are just weird sounds that are buzzing through. I've not heard these before. This is a brand new problem. Ever since this gentleman joined me, as a matter of fact. Is this you? Are you doing this? No. Okay. Yes, I'm losing it, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, no. But that is a change. He has been brought into the studio, and now I'm hearing these weird noises. Is it just a coincidence? Probably. But interesting nonetheless. Okay, let's get to the next one. And this one is coming from Colorado. Again, the phone lines are open if you want to call in and be a part of tonight's show. You're welcome to. But otherwise, I'll just sit here and continue to entertain you. Colorado, it has to do with a haunted life. Well, this one's pretty long. Long stories tonight. That's cool, though. I like the long ones, too. The short ones are good and all, but the long ones really tell a story, and I like that. 7, yeah, thank you, Black Tree and Duke. Appreciate that. It says, our story starts 8.5 years ago. My 4-year-old began to see Sean when we first moved into our house. And Sean appeared to my child every night, and the destruction was so much that I had to ask him to leave. Well, he did, but the incidents continued. Some of our friends and relatives will not come to our home due to the extreme sightings. One involved a non-mechanical stuffed animal moving on its own across the floor of a bedroom. That's pretty profound. Other incidents include my oldest child seeing the same figure I've spotted on numerous occasions. A ghost hunting team who took loads of video will not return, electronic oddities, and recently a gifted indicated we have 5 entities. I don't know what the hell a gifted is. Is that a psychic? Okay. We have 5 entities who are seeking help, all male, ranging from the age of 9 to 10 to adult. On the latter issue, a family member who lives in another state and has been tortured with nightmares by one specific entity, who is a child named Adam and is strong, as well as a man who does not have good intentions, has contacted me. Clairvoyance runs in my family. My 2-year-old recently spoke to someone room to room strangely and has woken up to say hello to people she sees and carries on conversations with. It's a morning routine that my oldest and I are awakened at 3 a.m. to strange sounds and appearances. Even those who do not believe in ghosts have had to conclude that something is strange in this house. To date, we cannot find any deaths that have occurred here, but did validate that a Sean fitting the description of the Sean who visited us did live in this house in the 1980s and was the son of a minister. I believe that the reason we did not get more response from this ghost hunter team is because they are disturbed in our home. The one valid evidence that they have submitted to me is that we discovered in one of the snapshots that a strange circular orb appeared on the basement ceiling and cannot be explained by any of the surroundings. Additionally, we have lost the photo of a gray child figure following our daughter in broad daylight on her birthday on the patio of our home. Unfortunately, we have lost a piece of proof that was blatant and in broad daylight. The use of EVP equipment resulted in much activity, which we have not been allowed to review. The EVP equipment used in some of the rooms either never shut off, as it would if there was no activity, and in other rooms stayed on most of the time. One of the sensitives found a particular spot where he saw many red millipedes. I've discovered there's a connection to red millipedes and paranormal activity. The area in which the millipedes are spotted is a highly active area. As for the electronic issue, I've never heard that millipede thing before, so this is all new to me. As for the electronic issues, toys that need to be physically handled to make noise will suddenly start working on their own. Additionally, TVs will turn off only to turn back on by themselves. I've been told that the spirits are not here to harm us, but are seeking help, and they are drawn to us because of the psychic energy we have as a family. As a family unit, actually. Yeah, each night I pray over my children to bind all evil spirits and energy from them. We are also a Christian family, but know that things exist in our world that cannot be explained by any other way than the supernatural. We have blessed the home many times on our own. We have sought the help of our church. I have a strange ability to just know, even amongst strangers, who to open up to and to talk about the issues that we have. And I happen to take that step at our church with someone most would be awestruck to know. He has the ability to cleanse, and he does not share this with many people. When we've asked the spirit to leave, we usually get a positive result, but are only confronted with a new entity or entities, which leads me to believe we may have a portal. I would be interested to know how I can better help protect my family from potential harm. Over the years past, we've noticed most of the activity from September to January, but that has changed recently. to being a much more year-round heightened level of activity. Most recently, my oldest child was awakened at 3 a.m. to see a dark outline of an adult-sized figure standing over her. It then knelt by her bedside, and she closed her eyes and began to pray. She didn't feel afraid, but more annoyed. One entity that appeared about a year ago was a female seeming to be interested in a laptop in my daughter's room, and she has not returned. One reading we recently had done concluded that the woman was seeking the help of my oldest child and has since moved on. I'm not sure what to expect since we have already gone through the experience of one ghost hunting team, and I think at this point I'm open to the possibilities that we have some gifts that draw energies like this to us. And we need to harness the abilities so that we can protect ourselves, as well as help in some way for those energies to move on to a better place when they appear to us. That's tough. Again, psychic people are like beacons. They will draw energy. They will draw wayward spirits or beings because apparently there's a whole lot of unfinished business. There's a whole lot going on with unfinished business or acknowledgement or needing to tell a story or something. I guess it varies quite a bit, but it's a very real phenomenon. I'm very convinced. Refreshing water. This one's interesting. I don't want to read this. This is sleep paralysis again. All right, I'll read it anyway. Colorado. Old hag's night attacks with sleep paralysis. I'm 16 years old, and I'm also a Christian, and I've had a lot of trauma throughout being a teenager with my family and a lot of major health problems. 3 years ago, I moved from Texas to Connecticut to live in a house with my grandparents. The experiences all started when I began to wake up in the middle of the night. I was never paralyzed, just scared to death, almost like I was having anxiety, and I just felt some kind of scary presence. And it made me really frightened. When I checked the time, it was always around 3 a.m. That's a big one. I also have had experiences thinking I may have been experiencing something paranormal when I had intrusive thoughts. I don't know if anyone else has had it. And eventually I just let it go thinking it was just part of life, maybe subconscious. But the night terrors do happen still. Every Sunday and Thursday. Thank you very much. I live in a new apartment now, reunited with my parents, and now I'm a big believer in Abraham or The Secret. So I believe you can manifest certain things in your life by the amazing power of thoughts. So for a while, I thought I may have been only setting myself up to have a more real paranormal experience by the power of thoughts. Sometimes I just kind of feel like I'm being watched. There it is again, being watched. And I may also have experience feeling like someone else is being... I'm trying to think of a term to throw in there. Because I also have the feeling like someone is getting saucy with me. Is that all right? Some kind of dull moment, and also coming to climax, I suppose. Although I was never paralyzed before I read this, and I thought I was just having female problems. I never saw anything, but it was like my subconscious automatically triggered me to believe it was some form of sauciness. It really scared me. I haven't had that experience in a while, but last night I woke up with a night terror again, and it was around early, probably 5 a.m. when I checked eventually. And I always feel the need to turn the light on and stay up because I'm so frightened after it. I finally come to the conclusion that I think it's very possible I could be having paranormal or spiritual experience. And I really am desperate for feedback or information, and I don't really know how much more about it than what I've said, but it is really scary. And I have a lot more than that. Like there is something in my life trying to drain me a bit. I just really would like some answers, please. I know how all this stuff kind of sounds like I just have anxiety, and I believed it to be believed it as well for a bit, but I'm coming under the realization that it's been something more. I'd appreciate any feedback. Could be. Again, there are people that have experiences with incubus, succubus, and such. I don't cover them on this show and it's not because I don't believe that those exist. It's just that I don't know. I like this show to be a family show. I know there's some little ones out there listening, and I don't want to be this this to be the place where that's discussed. So, it's kind of, it's one of those things that, it's out there, people experience it, but at the end of the day, no matter what, if it's sleep paralysis, if it's a haunting, if it's a incubus, succubus, if it's some kind of other dark presence, it's a spiritual energy. And so I think in many ways you deal with it in a lot of the same ways. Barriers, protections, cleansings, wardings, prayers, affirmations, sigils, symbols, anything, to ward against those kind of energies in your presence. So I think that while symptomatically they're a bit different, ultimately, I think they are dealt with or can be dealt with in largely the same ways or similar ways. So there may be something more specific for specific entities, but I think that all of the general cleansing practices and protection practices are effective no matter what the culprit is. So just some thoughts on that. Those are just my theories. Again, I can't know. There's no experts, but I think it's quite interesting, and there's a possibility. So what do we got? We're down. God, there's only about 10 minutes left. Where did this night go? Brent, it would be interesting to explore that a bit more. Maybe a special show for adults only. Yeah, not on this show. I just don't want to go down that road because, I want the show to be as accessible as possible. I appreciate that, though. I think that's certainly a good idea, but it's not an avenue that I want to explore because I really think that regardless of the causation, if it's a spiritual energy, you deal with it in an energetic way. And whether it's, a shadow person, a ghost, a poltergeist, some other presence, elementals, whatever, you deal with them in largely a similar manner. Again, there could be specific ways to specifically ward against a specific type of entity, and I'm sure that there are, but generally speaking, the same practices can be effective across the board. If you have something really aggressive and dark, you're going to want to bring in somebody anyway because you don't want to play around if it's something really aggressive and problematic. But if it's just your run-of-the-mill nuisance things going on, you can protect yourself. Largely, you can do a really good job just by saging, sweetgrass, cedar. There's lots of incenses. There's lots of crystals and elements like that can be utilized. Salt is a great ward. Olive oil on the thresholds is a great way to seal your home. Circling the foundation of your house with sea salt is great. After you've cleansed, after you've pushed out all the negative energies, you can ward your home by running around and saying affirmations or prayers as you do that, of course. Because these physical things are a medium, and you want to. Did you hear that? That was definitely more like a voice. But the salt or any other substance is a medium. The smoke is a medium, and so you charge it with your affirmations. You're not welcome here. This place is, bound to the light. This is, this place is devoted to Jesus Christ or whatever your faith is, and utilize that in these ceremonies, and you can protect yourself. If something is still causing you problems after doing that, then you probably want to get someone in there because you're dealing with something that's probably stronger than the average bear, and it's obviously not willing to respect your wishes. So there's no reason to play around with it. Find people or get a hold of me. We have people connected with the show that really are phenomenal at dealing with problematic presences. So It's not my specialty personally. I mean, I've cleansed, I've helped people out in their homes that I know, but I don't do that as a rule because, it's not my forte. But anyway, we do know people that do. So, very interesting though. Let's see. I got to see where we're at. Okay, we got about time for one more, maybe two more. Did you hear that one? Come on, you guys heard that one, didn't you? That was like a voice. It was like, you gotta let me know if you're hearing that. That is really intense. I'll be doing some saging after the show. I didn't cleanse one after I brought this guy in. I didn't follow my own advice, right? So, I always say you should always. Thank you, Cashew. I'm glad you heard that because it's not just me. Sounded like a what? I don't know what that means. I always say when you bring something into your house, I thought it was my stomach. No, it's not your stomach unless it's reaching my soundboard. I always say when you bring something new into your house, especially pre-owned items, you should always cleanse them. You don't know the story of them. You don't know where they've been. You don't know what kind of attachments they may carry. And so I talk about that stuff all the time. I can even tell you 15 ways to do it. But I didn't follow my own advice. So, Mr. Coconut Head and I are going to be having a talk after the show. And I don't know that there's anything to it or not, but this is a new sound. This is a new item, and it's kind of funny that the correlation exists. So I'm going to err on the side of caution and do some cleansing. Yeah. He's a cute little bugger, though, isn't he? It's a coconut. Isn't that cool? I like these things because I think that, a lot of these cultures where these things are crafted are very spiritual. A lot of them are just, stupid touristy things that they make and hand out, but it can still carry an energy. I'm sure that this is probably grabbed on a beach somewhere and, oh, look, it's a coconut head. Cool. Let's bring it home. It looks really cool. And, but I don't know where it was. I don't know what the situation was where this was. Could it have been exposed to weird energies? Could it have been, you don't know, especially pre-owned items. New items, I don't think you have to be as concerned about, but, some people think you should cleanse everything you bring into your house. Cleanse it all. Doesn't matter if you just got it at Walmart or if you found it in an antique store. Cleanse it all. And it's possible because some people believe that certain places there may be nefarious activities to send curses along to other places, and I suppose that's possible. But I guess oftentimes I don't, unless I notice things like this. And the thing is you bring something in your house, something starts changing. First thing you do is remove it from your house and see if that something stops. This is most probably something to do with my sound card, honestly. But, the weirder things have happened, so I'm just going to err on the side of caution and address the spiritual as well, because I firmly believe that by virtue of doing a paranormal show, we are constantly dealing with that energy. We're talking about that energy. I'm thinking about that energy. I'm talking and sharing with you about it. And I think that there's an old principle of old magical systems called magnetism. And the principle is that it's not too much different from The Secret. And that other show that person mentioned, The Secret. And The Secret is this program, if you're not familiar with it, that talks about, the self-empowering and stuff and how empowered we are by acknowledging our own ability and possibility of creating our reality. Now, none of those ideas are new. None of them were invented by the people who put together the program, The Secret. It is just a repurposed, repackaged collection of old wisdoms. These wisdoms are as old as time. Ancient Buddhism, other shamanism, so many esoteric beliefs and spiritual beliefs. There's so many of those in there, and they're packaged in with a nice new wrapper that says The Secret. Well, there's no real secret. It's been around for a long time, and anybody can find this information out without buying into The Secret. You just got to look into a lot of different places. But, I think, I don't know, I kind of went off on a tangent there, but it's interesting all the same. Let's see where we're at. 53. Maybe I can find a short one here. This one I think will be short. Let's see if I'm right. Yeah, it is actually. So this one's coming from California. I think this will be the last one we'll cover tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And I'll be back tomorrow night. Now on Saturday, I do have to announce this because we have a guest joining us on Saturday, and his name is Dan Hammond, and he's part of the Phantom. Let me blow this up. I could probably put a Phantom Faction podcast, and he's going to be joining us on Saturday night here on the show. And he just reached out to me. I'm going to be a guest on their show coming up in the next several days. Let me look at my schedule. I'm going to be a guest on their podcast as well. But we're going to have Dan on the show here, and we're going to talk all things paranormal, which will be excellent. And I'm going to be on theirs on the 31st at 7 p.m. Ontario time. So I'll be on their podcast the 31st. And Dan will be joining me here on Saturday night, and we'll get into picking his brain about the paranormal, weird stories, things he's experienced or seen, or things they've covered on their show and stuff. It'll be a great time, and it's a great opportunity to bring more unity to this field. I think there's a lot of amazing people doing amazing shows, and it's great to try to build bridges and create a community. So I'm really honored they're going to have me on. I'm really honored to have him on Saturday. So Don and I will be welcoming Dan Hammond to our show on Saturday. So I'll be, hopefully you guys will join me then. But this is a short story, last one of the night. And this is from California, Children Who See Spirits. Many of you might, I'm going to skip that fluffy stuff. My 2-year-old cousin woke up screaming and crying. She said that shadows were crawling on her PJs and trying to get into her mouth. Not knowing why, her mother imagined a ball of light protecting her daughter. The next night, the little girl told her mother that the shadows had left and went out the window. Then she told her mom to tell her dad, who was out of town at my house, not to send them back. When her dad called to say goodnight, he said that he had a rough time sleeping the night before. He had a dream that he was being chased by a weird shadow figure. When the little girl was telling her mom about the shadows leaving, her older brother was only a couple years older, said that those weren't shadows, those were ghosts. The mother was very shocked, but she had never mentioned ghosts around the kids before. This means they probably see the ghosts or shadows, or whatever they are, and looking online, she found a website that said to imagine a protective light around the person. I have also seen the shadow figures, except they weren't trying to attack me. It jumped from the floor to the ceiling and then disappeared. The next morning, my alarm clock did not go off, and I heard some rustling by my bed, and as I opened my eyes, I saw a shadow again. Like the night before, it disappeared. Any advice? I'd appreciate it. It's actually a great exercise for everybody. If there's someone that's going through a tough time, or someone you care about, haven't heard about, if you ever want to help somebody out, here's the thing: energy follows intention, and I think we really do have it. It's the same principle as a prayer, but instead of it being words, it's images. And so you envision an image of a ball of light or a sphere of light protecting this person that you love. And it's a great thing to do, to wrap people in light. And I think the world right now needs a hell of a lot more light. So I hope that if any of you are, have loved ones that are away from you, or just want to help anybody or the world, whatever, imagine the world in light. But those kind of mental exercises, I think, are very powerful. If you haven't heard of that before, I think most everybody has, but I think that they're real. I don't think it's just an imaginary exercise. I think that we can help protect people. We can help direct positive energy to them, especially people, that are going through tough times. Imagine them being, encased in this radiant light. Some people are just on a tough place in life, and they just need something to go well, because they're always struggling and pushing. And I think we all know those kind of people that are just always wrestling. And a lot of times they're wrestling with themselves. But It can help them with that process by wrapping them in light or saying prayers or both. Both can work. If we were made by God, it doesn't matter if we use words or if we use images. We're using that divine light wherever you believe that source is. So I hope you guys will wrap everyone in light. Wrap me in light, for God's sakes. I need light too. I'm wrapping all of you in light too. So just a love fest going on here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. But that's going to wrap it up. That's all I got for you. I hope you guys have enjoyed yourself. Thank you for all the feedback and the help isolating that sound problem at the beginning, the echoey stuff. I think I got that sorted. Now I got to actually rebuild some of the scenes that have those breaks on them, because I know what's going on, and I just have to fix it. So I'd throw a Band-Aid on it at the beginning of the show, but at least I know what to fix now. So, all right, guys, love you all. Be good, be kind, be nice, take care of each other, help each other out. Find the magic in every day, and remember to laugh as much as you can. I will be back tomorrow night, 2 full hours of the Paranormal Portal with me. And I don't know if anybody's joining me or not. I haven't heard anything, or I really haven't sent out any offers. I've been so busy, I haven't been able to plan too much ahead. So we'll see what I can pull together for tomorrow night, but we'll have a good time no matter what. So love you guys. Have a great night. Have a wonderful Friday. And I'll see you tomorrow night right here on the Paranormal Portal, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Please make sure you're subscribed. Please make sure you've liked this stream. Unless you don't like this stream, and then what the hell are you doing here? Go away. So I'll be here tomorrow night. I hope you'll join me then. Until then, take care and sweet dreams.